Let's be honest, your marketing is probably failing. And it's not because your ads aren't clever enough or your funnels aren't optimized. It's because you're playing a game that's already over. You're drilling for oil in a world that's switching to electric. For the last 2 decades, marketing has been a race to collect as much data as possible by any means necessary. We tracked, we targeted, we followed people around the internet until they either bought something or blocked us. But that era is ending. The wells are running dry. There's a new gold rush in marketing, a massive untapped opportunity, and it's reserved for those who get one fundamental truth: privacy is the new currency. What if the secret to explosive growth wasn't about collecting more data, but about collecting the right data in the right way? What if the most powerful strategy of the next decade has nothing to do with ads or funnels, but everything to do with what you stop doing? Most companies are actively torching their most valuable asset, customer trust, without even knowing it. But a simple pivot towards privacy can unlock not just compliance, but a fiercely loyal customer base and a competitive advantage so big your competition won't know what hit them. This isn't about avoiding fines, this is about unearthing the most valuable resource in the digital economy: genuine, earned trust. Section 1: The Problem, the Great Trust Implosion. If you work in marketing, you've felt this, that nagging feeling that you're running faster and faster on a treadmill just to stay in the same place. Your ad spend is climbing, but your returns are shrinking. Your email lists are huge, but open rates are plummeting. You're A/B testing everything, but nothing seems to really move the needle. You're not alone, and you're not imagining it. This is the quiet, grinding failure of the old marketing playbook. For 20 years, the engine of digital marketing was the third-party cookie. It was the ultimate tracking device, a silent shadow that followed us from site to site, logging our interests, our behaviors, our curiosities. We were told this was the peak of personalization, but let's call it what it was: surveillance. We were building castles on borrowed land with data we never truly earned. And now the ground is collapsing. Google, the last major browser holding out, is officially phasing out third-party cookies. This isn't just a small technical tweak, it's an extinction-level event for the old way of marketing. About 69% of advertisers believe this one change will hit their business harder than massive privacy laws like GDPR and CCPA. The tools that powered 2 decades of marketing are being dismantled right before our eyes. The game is over. But the cookie apocalypse is just a symptom of a much deeper disease: the catastrophic erosion of customer trust. People are tired. They're tired of being followed, manipulated, and feeling like they're the product. A staggering 81% of people believe the risks of companies collecting their data far outweigh any benefits. Think about that. The vast majority of people you're trying to reach see your data collection not as a service, but as a threat. They feel they have little to no control over it. This isn't just a feeling. 63% of internet users believe most companies are not transparent about how their data is used. And nearly half, 48%, have stopped shopping with a company specifically because of privacy concerns. The trust gap is monumental. One study found that while almost 80% of business leaders think customers trust their brand, only 52% of those customers actually agree. We think we've earned their trust, but they're telling us we haven't. And this distrust has a direct, measurable cost. It shows up in ad blockers used by hundreds of millions of people. It shows up in the rise of private browsing and VPNs. It shows up in the mass exodus from platforms that suffer data breaches. 66% of customers say they'd lose trust in a company after their information is misused. We've been so focused on the customer's journey, we forgot to ask if they wanted us following them in the first place. The old model was built on extraction. We took what we could, optimized for conversion at all costs, and treated customer churn as just another metric. That approach isn't just ineffective anymore, it's a liability. Section 2: The Agitation, the True Cost of Inaction. Ignoring this shift isn't just about declining marketing performance, it's a ticking time bomb at the heart of your business. Let's start with the most brutal cost: the fines. Privacy is no longer a polite suggestion, it's the law. Regulations like GDPR in Europe and CCPA in California are just the start, and they are not toothless. They are financial minefields. In 2023, Meta was hit with a record-breaking $1.2 billion fine. Amazon has been fined over $746 million. Google, TikTok, WhatsApp, they've all been served with nine-figure penalties for everything from tracking without consent to not being transparent. And don't think this is just a big tech problem. Under GDPR, fines can be up to 4% of a company's global annual revenue. What's even scarier for many businesses is the CCPA, where penalties can reach $7,500 per violation with no cap. If you have a database of 100,000 California customers and are found non-compliant, the math becomes terrifying. But the fines aren't even the worst part. The reputational damage is far more severe. Trust has become as important as quality and price when people decide where to spend their money. 81% of consumers say they need to trust a brand, but before they'll even consider buying from it. When you break that trust, the consequences are swift. After a major privacy breach, companies lose an average of 9% of their customer base, and 75% of consumers say they flat out will not buy from a company they don't trust with their data. This isn't a soft metric, this is a direct hit to your bottom line. In a world of social media, bad news travels at the speed of light. A single privacy misstep can become a PR nightmare overnight, turning your brand into a meme for untrustworthiness. And this brings us to the most insidious cost of all: slow, creeping obsolescence. The world is moving on. Your smart competitors are already adapting. They're building their marketing on transparency and respect. They're turning privacy into a reason for customers to choose them. While you're struggling to squeeze the last drops of value from a dying ecosystem, they are building direct, resilient relationships with their customers. While you're grappling with confusing legal requirements, they've made privacy part of their brand. Soon, there will be two types of companies: those who treat privacy as an inconvenient expense, and those who see it as the single greatest opportunity for growth. The first group will be perpetually on the defensive, hemorrhaging trust and fighting for scraps. The second group will be the new market leaders. The window to decide which group you're in is closing fast. Section 3: The Solution: The Privacy First Gold Rush. This is where the story shifts. The end of the old way isn't a funeral, it's the announcement of a gold rush. For those willing to stake a claim, the opportunities are immense. This new territory is built on a simple, revolutionary idea: privacy first marketing. It's not about doing less, it's about doing marketing better. It's about shifting from data extraction to value exchange. This is the new way. Pillar 1: The core shift: from extraction to exchange. For decades, we've treated customer data like a resource to be mined. We took it, often without clear consent, and used it for our own benefit. The privacy-first model flips this entirely. It reframes the relationship as a value exchange. It says a customer's personal information is valuable, and to get it, you must offer something of equal or greater value in return. This is the fundamental mindset shift. Their data is not yours for the taking. It is theirs to give. What does this look like? Instead of burying your data policies in a 50-page legal document, you create a simple, human-readable privacy page that clearly explains what you collect and why. Over 90% of consumers say they prefer brands that are clear about their data practices. Instead of tracking every visitor with a dozen scripts, you offer a clear choice. A simple banner that says, "We use data to improve your experience. Is that okay?" The simple act of asking for permission transforms the dynamic. You're no longer a stalker, you're a potential partner. The value you offer in exchange can be anything from hyper-useful personalized content, like a beauty brand asking about your skin to build a custom routine, to exclusive discounts. The key is the value must be real and obvious to the customer. They must feel that sharing their data is a smart decision for them. When customers willingly share information, its quality is exponentially higher. It's the difference between spying on someone through a window and being invited into their home for a conversation. Which one builds a better relationship? Pillar 2: The bedrock of trust: zero-party and first-party data. If value exchange is the mindset, then zero-party and first-party data are your gold. This is what replaces the toxic sludge of third-party cookies. First-party data is information you collect from your direct interactions with customers. Think purchase history, pages visited on your site, or products they've put in their cart. This is data you own, and it gives you a clear picture of how customers engage with your brand. But the real treasure, the 24-karat gold, is zero-party data. This is data a customer intentionally, proactively, and voluntarily shares with you. It's not data you observe, it's data you are given. We spend billions trying to guess what customers want. Zero-party data eliminates the guesswork. The customer just tells you, "How do you get it?" you ask, but you ask in creative, engaging ways. Interactive quizzes. Instead of a boring "sign up for our newsletter" form, try a "find your perfect coffee profile" quiz for a coffee company. The customer gets a personalized recommendation, and you get incredibly valuable data. One beauty brand saw a 217% jump in email click-through rates just by using a quiz to gather this data. Onboarding experiences. When a user signs up, have a conversation. A subscription box can ask, "What's your style? What do you want more of? What should we never send you?" This immediately tailors their experience. On preference centers, this is a powerhouse. Instead of a simple unsubscribe link, let users choose what content they get and how often. Let them opt into sales alerts or new product announcements. This dramatically reduces unsubscribes and ensures every email you send is a welcome one. Surveys and polls. Don't just ask, "How did we do?" Ask, "Help us design our next product. What features matter most to you?" People love to give their opinion when they feel it actually matters. The data you get this way is pure gold. It's accurate, ethically sourced, and incredibly powerful. 91% of consumers are more likely to shop with brands that provide relevant offers based on data they've voluntarily shared. This is how marketing starts to feel less like an intrusion and more like a helpful service. Pillar 3, the trust funnel, a progressive consent strategy. You wouldn't ask someone to marry you on the first date, yet in marketing, that's exactly what we do. The second a visitor lands on our site, we hit them with a massive pop-up demanding their email and asking them to accept everything. It's aggressive and off-putting. Progressive consent is the art of asking for the right information at the right time. It's a gradual deepening of the relationship. Step 1, the anonymous visitor. When someone first arrives, let them browse. Let them experience your value. Your initial ask should be small and unobtrusive, maybe just for basic analytics to help improve the site. Step 2, the engaged follower. They've read a few articles, they clearly like your content. Now is the time for a small ask. Enjoying our stuff? Enter your email to get our best articles once a week. Step 3, the lead. They've downloaded a guide or signed up for a webinar. They've raised their hand. Now you can ask for a little more, like their job title, in exchange for an even more valuable resource. Step 4, the customer. Once they buy something, the relationship changes again. Now you can use their purchase history to make relevant recommendations or invite them to a loyalty program where they can share more preferences for exclusive perks. This gradual process builds trust at every stage. You're demonstrating that you respect their boundaries. The sale becomes a natural outcome of that trusted relationship, not the sole focus. Pillar 4, privacy as a product. Your greatest competitive advantage. For too long, we've treated privacy as a compliance issue, a box to be ticked to avoid getting sued. That's a losing posture. The winning move is to go on offense. Stop hiding your privacy practices and start shouting about them from the rooftops. Make privacy a feature. In a world where 79% of people are worried about how companies use their data, being the brand that champions privacy is a massive differentiator. It tells the customer, "We see you, we respect you, we're on your side." Aligning with your customers' values is one of the most powerful ways to build trust. In fact, 87% of shoppers say they'll pay more for brands they trust. So how do you market privacy? Be loud and transparent. Don't just have a privacy policy. Create a trust center on your website. Use simple language and videos to explain what data you collect and how it makes their experience better. Use it in your messaging. Your ad copy can reflect this commitment. Phrases like, "Your data is your own, we'll never sell it," or "Personalized for you, controlled by you," can be incredibly powerful. Design for trust. Build features that give users control, like an easy-to-use preference center or a one-click button to delete their data. This is tangible proof that you stand by your promises. By framing privacy as a benefit, you attract a higher quality customer. People who are thoughtful, engaged, and more likely to become loyal advocates. You are future-proofing your business. In the new gold rush, the most trusted brand wins. CTA, mid-script. I know this is a huge shift. Moving from the old way of tracking everything to this new model of earning trust can feel overwhelming. You might be wondering where to even begin. To help, I've created a privacy-first marketing starter kit. It's a free PDF that walks you through the first 5 steps you can take this week to start building your strategy. It's a practical, actionable blueprint to help you stake your claim in this new gold rush. Section 4, the new toolkit and the new mindset. Embracing this new philosophy requires a new set of tools and a new way of measuring success. The old toolkit of trackers and third-party data brokers is obsolete. The new toolkit is built around consent and direct relationships. First is the Consent Management Platform, CMP. This is your new mission control. A good CMP doesn't just show a cookie banner, It manages consent across different regions, lets users control their preferences, and gives you an audit trail to prove you're respecting their choices. Think of it as a friendly gatekeeper, not a bouncer. Next, your customer data platform, CDP, becomes a secure vault for your precious first party and zero party data. It unifies data from your website, app, and email to create a single view of the customer, a view built entirely on data you've collected ethically. This clean, consented data is the fuel for true personalization. We also have to rethink advertising. The future isn't hyper targeting individuals, it's techniques like contextual targeting. This means placing your ads on content that's relevant to your product. If you sell running shoes, your ads appear on articles about running, not because you know a user's entire browsing history. It's a return to a simpler, more intuitive advertising that actually respects privacy. And finally, we must change how we measure success. The old vanity metrics, like impressions and sheer volume of data, are meaningless now. The new KPIs are about quality. Consent rate. What percentage of your visitors are willingly opting in? This is the ultimate measure of trust. Quality of engagement. Are people just opening your emails? Or are they clicking, replying, and using your preference center? Deeper engagement from a smaller, committed audience is far more valuable. On customer lifetime value, or LTV of opted-in users. Analyze the long-term value of the customers who have put their trust in you. You will find they are more loyal and spend more. This is the ROI of trust. Shifting to these metrics requires a cultural change. It's about having the courage to prune your email list of unengaged users and focus on a smaller, more passionate community. It's a shift from a short-term, conversion at all costs mindset to a long-term, relationship-first one. Conclusion. We are at a profound inflection point. The ground is shifting and the rules of the game are being rewritten. The old playbook, built on the shaky foundation of surveillance and data extraction, is failing. It's a dead end. But on the other side of this disruption lies an incredible opportunity, a new gold rush. The move toward a privacy-first world isn't a threat. It's an invitation to build better, more human-centric businesses. It's a chance to stop chasing clicks and start building connections, to stop optimizing for conversion and start optimizing for trust. The path forward is clear. It begins with a shift from extraction to exchange. It's built on the bedrock of clean, ethically sourced data. It's guided by earning the right to a deeper relationship over time, and it's powered by the bold decision to turn privacy into your most powerful marketing message. This is not a temporary trend. This is the new gold standard. Brands that embrace transparency and respect will not just survive the end of the cookie era, they will thrive because of it. They will build a moat of trust around their business that their competitors will be unable to cross. The tools are here. The strategies are clear. The only question left is one of will. Will you keep drilling for oil in a world that's moved on, or will you pick up a pickaxe and join the gold rush? The choice is yours.